This week I'm in Austin, Manitoba at the Manitoba Agricultural Museum's Threshermen's Reunion and Stampede. This year's feature is John Deere. We've got a reasonable turnout, maybe a few less than the last time that they featured John Deere at the expo, but let's have a look through the rows and see what they got. Three 70s in a row, each with power steering and one of them with propane. There's 730 behind them. '17 1224 Waterloo boy. Two of them on display here. We've got a whole hive of bees. The H that my brother and now my nephew have operated for years. This is the D that my father's operated for about the last 25 years at the museum here. Still in its working clothes. And this is a neat little setup. The trailer. 1924D, 1929D, 1925, 30, and the 28. whole thing's being pulled around by a 4230. That's a pretty cool way to display your Ds. And they've even got garden tractors. Hopefully more stuff shows up. This tent's a little empty for 4 garden tractors and a quad. Another John Deere quad here. Massive header. Of course, they always have to have the massive new one for you to compare against. This thing, I'm about 6 foot tall, and the top of those tracks is about level with the top of my head. So, huge. Look at all the hydraulics. Well, hopefully more stuff shows up. This is just the Thursday of the show, so often the Thursday is a little bit later. If there is a significant amount more, we'll update this as it comes. An old planer to take your rough cut boards and mill them down nice and smooth. Lumber is coming from. It's all being powered by this Scott steam engine. Versatile and Mac on display, both of them local manufacturers here in Winnipeg, well, nearby in Winnipeg. Look at some of the non-featured items that are in the outfield here at Austin. It's the 1947 Empire tractor. I've actually got a video on my channel about the facts about that tractor. It's general. It's an identical machine to the BF Avery that my daughter operates. We'll come across shortly here. These long tractors look surprisingly a lot like an IH. Maybe I need to do a little bit of research into what exactly these are, because at a minimum they had the same designer, I would say, from that grill. But maybe that's an idea for a future video. I should get some shots of this so that I can do some research. Nice Lance Bulldog. Field Marshal. This is one of the shotgun start Field Marshals. You put a shotgun shell in here and give it a tap. A little bit more to it than that. Lots of videos on YouTube of people starting those things. And Deutz. And that's better. We're back into International. Saw enough of that green and yellow. Cute little cub in his work clothes. A little cultivator on the back. Gorgeous little BN. Somebody's a good painter at a minimum. Oh, looks like they must have got the drawbar after the paint job, but wow, that paint just gleams. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but that is gorgeous. Narrow front and a wide front sitting next to each other. Here's a machine that looks familiar. This is my WD6. We took in the parade this afternoon. Its paint is not as beautiful as that B, but it's still not bad, considering it's about a 10-year-old restoration. Super W6. And a regular W6, just like what I should have now if my shop hadn't have burned down and made mine a melty version of what it was. It's the International KB5. Here's the BF Avery. I was mentioning the General is the same tractor as this is. My daughter operates this one. My new Doodlebug, this is familiar. Be looking forward to some videos on that. Fun fact, I took it for its first parade today, and the front driver's side tire decided to start delaminating. All the treads were falling off, but the tire was still holding air. So in the spirit of the Doodlebug, we've got a duct tape fix. So we'll see how that holds together. I've been bombing around a little bit with it since I did that, and seems to be holding it. It's nice sandy ground here, so all it has to do is last day by day. Put some more duct tape on it tomorrow if I need to, but it'll get me through the parade for the week, and then I can find some new tires. You don't see many of these. I did find one of these in Grand Island, Nebraska when I was there. Here's the Huber Light 4. This is the tractor that my dad has operated for years and years, ever since I was a little kid. Parked right next to the Gould, Shapley and Moore beaver tractor. It's operated by our own local historian, Glenn Lennox. He's got encyclopedic knowledge about all of these machines. It's scary how much one guy can know about tractors. If you want to know anything about especially pre-30s era tractors, that is the guy to talk to. Just don't ask him about politics. Here's a nice row of Masseys. We got 55, a 44, a 33. I know there's a 22 around the ground somewhere, but it's not in this lineup here. The place that I picked the Doodlebug up from actually had a Massey 20. It was a cute little thing. If money was unlimited, I may have been going back for that, along with his John Deere M that he had for sale. Four-wheel drive Massey Harris. And here's the 1225 that I operate. It's actually running this year. It's holding water, which is amazing. We've got a new newly cored radiator, new tanks on it. Didn't make it through the parade yet. Fan belt came off right as I was entering the lineup, so by the time I would have shut it down and put that back on, I would have been too far behind. Looks like I got some adjustment here I'm gonna have to make. It's a little loose. Give her another shot for tomorrow. Quite a few cases in there. Display here. Not much for Allis Chalmers. In fact, there's not a single orange Allis Chalmers here, which is disappointing. A couple nice old Minneapolis Moulines. I think this was restored by Helmut Neufeld, who's a recently departed member of the museum. Did a ton of work around here. You guys will recognize this one. That's my 8N Ford. We put together, was that 2 winters ago? Running great, looking okay, other than the paint on the script has come off on me. Let's do that again. There's another 8N, just like it. Made through all the Fords. A nice little Cockshut 20. Doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to this row. It's between Olivers and Cockshuts, but the models are all mixed up. There's a neat little homemade tractor from Murray Johansson in Langruth. It's really nice work. Here's the most famous tractor in the collection here. It's the Versatile Big Roy. This is a prototype built in, I believe it was 1977. We should do a full video on this sometime. Quite a big cab in this thing. 3 seats. Came complete with a backup camera before backup cameras were cool, back in 1977. Yeah, versatile. Just went through this a few years ago and made everything look nice and pretty. Here's the view from the platform to get into Big Roy. And there's that rear view camera you saw the screen for. Ton of other stuff in sheds around this place. There's a boneyard in the back. There's incredible amount of equipment. Poor old Farm All H, looks like it hasn't run in a couple years. It's got a potato digger on it.